every single one that needs and must be shown to y'all. So of course, this is gonna be very much the same as we already saw before. This is gonna be Regi against a swordsman character. So of course, there's something new that's gonna be brought to the table, and as you can already tell, we're going all the way in. There's no stops, there's no misses. It's just raw experience that we're gonna be experiencing from Goblin himself.
Of course, and once again up against Regi Shikimi, this Game & Watch main that has won over my heart, specifically my heart, because he knows that he's one of my favorite players. We're seeing it exactly right now. Of course, Goblin is going to take the advantage of this in this occasion once the edgeguard, but you're trying to edgeguard Mr. Game & Watch. It's easier to teach a donkey how to learn arithmetic other than try to edgeguard Mr. Game & Watch, and I wish I was playing around, because every single time that Regi has been within the ledge, it's been impossible to edgeguard him. And we're seeing that exactly right now, because Goblin, he's doing all this damage within the ground, and that's something that I respect a lot. But the moment that he steps foot off stage, well, that's kind of strange, right? But the moment that he's flying off stage, that's when his stock is lost.
Yeah, and one thing for sure is that one thing for sure that we're gonna take account on is the fact that there's not many Game & Watch on anywhere else than Mexico. We have two of the finest Game & Watch in the whole world, which is Meister and of course Regi. But there's no many Game & Watches out there, and if there's a couple of them, it's just gonna be Monte, that's currently in SoCal, or Dingus Joe, may he rest in peace. So of course, Goblin is not much knowledgeable on this matchup, and it's just gonna be something that he's gotta adapt on the very paper, on the very practice.
Yes, like one of my favorite characters of all time would say, he's learning how to fight while he's fighting. And that's exactly the problem right now we're going to be seeing. Goblin in a situation where it becomes very, very difficult to run down. And now we're seeing that exactly off of that down tilt. He's having a lot of problems actually taking off the stock from Mr. Game & Watch, but he finally is able to do it once again in red percent. And ooh, no double jump. I think this is going to be it for Roy. If obviously Regi's not going to let him come back. Oh, he did! Unfortunate right there that he let him come back, and he's bigger and he's madder than ever with that rage.
Yeah, of course. So this is currently gonna be a change of pace. We already saw before that Regi was taking on the lead of the game number 1, and that just vanished from one way to the other, and that was actually quite fast. If you ask me, one thing for sure, and one of the strengths that Goblin has to offer on the table is the not only the adaptability, but the resilience that I'm losing. Okay, I lost the first blood. Okay, what I'm gonna do afterwards? I'm just gonna win, and he just keeps going and going and going until he gets that goal that he was looking for.
He didn't allow Regi to get that snowball effect that a lot of people tend to have. Like, they take the advantage early, the percentage lead, and then they take the stock, and then they start feeling themselves, you know? And that's something that happens quite often, and we're seeing that didn't happen in this case. It was actually Goblin who started setting the pace of this match consistently and awkwardly in a form that Regi wasn't able to adapt very fast. And he took the stocks that he needed. He was now up in an advantage, and now we're seeing that Regi is barely starting to pick up the pace to understand how Goblin was taking everything into consideration. And now we're going to be seeing an exchange in neutral. Oh, be careful, because these Game & Watch combos are going to hurt if you're not careful. But no, apparently Goblin knows how to weave in and out of those. Now we're going to be seeing a situation where you have Regi up the ledge, and you have to ledge trap him exactly like that. Very well done by Goblin, taking the game.
One thing that I gotta give credit on Regi, of course, is the fact that he just can't. Literally, he was just sitting there, just trying to absorb whatever happened against Cloudy, and then he was just thrown off that very next piece that was already waiting on the cage. There was like actual no delay between these fights. There was actually no rest between these fights. Of course, I gotta be to the player. You gotta have a little time to recompose yourself after every single match before going on over and over against them. So of course, I gotta give all the credit to Regi being able to get on this level on the top notch against such a top dog as Goblin after receiving that last loss.
Against Cloudy of all players, exactly. Yeah. And we know that all the main roster that he has as his main, he could have also taken out Roy, maybe helped him out, but no, he was going to use the Igus. And now we're seeing Goblin right there, almost taking the stock with the double-edged stance. Well, you got to be careful once again against Mr. Game & Watch, because once you're at that percentage, the rage could turn up against you. However, those combos, Jesus, they rack up damage like you have no idea. When you least expect it, all of a sudden, boom, you're already at 100% and you die after one interaction. And then once again with the jab, like we're seeing right there, jab forward there, it's going to be enough to take Regi's stock. And this occasion, actually losing the first blood. And now we're seeing the damage rack up again. And he's been getting ledge trapped like you have no idea. Just choosing the incorrect options again and again and again against Goblin.
No, Goblin just has so much XP.
Is that it?
No, you just have to save him. There was no way in hell that he was going to get back from that. You just have to save him. That's actually quite unfortunate because I feel like that chain of momentum, that mistake that he was pressured on to do so, because of course it's not like Goblin was going to fast all. He was actually looking for Regi's actual recovery, for him to be able to recover as well. So Regi has already taken a lot of his credit after that, what seemed to be his stock to take, and that's something that's going to affect as a snowball effect on these particular stock. I already foresaw that going on. It was gonna be Goblin the one that take on the second stock. Just a couple of jab hackers. There's nothing else. If it works, don't fix it. If it works, don't change it. And he's just gonna go over and over for that one.
You're seeing exactly that. He's understanding every single time when Mr. Game & Watch has that opening, even though that matchup isn't something that he may be very familiar with. It's not something that necessarily can happen. We're seeing exactly that. The aggressive nature that Goblin has, paired up with the hyper-aggressivity playstyle that is enabled by Goblin and his Roy, is just, oh my god, ever so impressive like we're seeing it right now. Something that you really don't see every day. Such a good combination, such a good couple that the player and the character make. We're seeing that exactly right now as Goblin is constantly on the edge of the offense sphere. And we're seeing it right now. Regi is barely able to retaliate, especially with that dash attack.
Of course, and currently Goblin, who's at the losing verge of that stock, it's just slowly but surely causing a little bit more of damage on Regi. He's just not going for any kind of combo-based gameplay. He's just trying to get those neutral interactions that just give him a little bit of edge on the later stock that he has to take on Regi. And of course, that LB out of shield is gonna be such a great option for Goblin to take. One thing for sure that I have noticed on this current meta is that your character goes upper and better on the tier list if he has or they have any kind of option out of shield.
And not only that, but representation. Like that's like the thing. A lot of people can agree that, oh no, you know, like this character isn't really that good, but then you have like an impressive person that just starts representing with that character. Like Mr. Game & Watch on this occasion was Meister, and then we have two of the best Roys in the world, Goblin and Kohler as well, starting representing, and you just see the character go upwards and upwards and upwards, and that's just something that you don't see very, very often, but once it happens, it just skyrockets.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, the option out of shield is something that Roy doesn't really have like the best things in the world, but it's arguably one of the higher tier characters too, simply because of the fact that his playstyle combos. What an impressive down smash! What an angle! What was that?
No manches, no espera eso.
But that wasn't no.
I got a one. Es que no esperaba eso.
No, nobody expected that. I don't think even Goblin expected that. It was just an awkward angle.
They just came out of pocket, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
That just came out of pocket. I gotta say it once again. It was at 77%. He just tried to be reversed that side B just to pick out the land on another side of the stage, and he just got into that down smash. Like, that was not necessary. Regi was charging that down smash. He was already at a safe position where he was gonna land. Regi was not gonna be able to cover, and he just had to be reversed that and land inside Regi's hammer. That was something else.
I mean, it happens. Like you mentioned before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Shake it up, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, what do you gotta do, man? Just shake it off, go into next game, and oh my God, Fountain of Dreams! I forgot how much I love this stage, man. It's just ever so flashy, all the colors. It's just perfect to be a battlefield against these two top level players, like we're seeing it right now, in which Goblin is already struggling. Why coming from Regi on this occasion, just slowing them down, suminero, like we would say in Mexico. What an impressive display play of stringing the, what was it called, thread the needle, and then here we go once again into the other stock in which Regi just tied up the marker.
Regi's explosiveness is always ever so quiet. He just goes and explodes one way that you do not ever take account of. Like, it's just like these little moments where Regi just goes like, oh, okay, I am one of the best in the world, and then he just explodes and three stabs you or shoots at you, and that's it. And then he goes back into his own thing where he just tries to get a little bit of percentage every single time. So back and forth, we're already having this what seems to be the comeback for Goblin on this game number 3. He had to take a very early stock, but what's gonna happen afterwards, that's exactly what Goblin is showcasing up. He already even up that percentage up, and what seemed to be a Regi's game, of course, slowly but surely is going to the Florida man side.
Of course, and you gotta be careful because even though you have the momentum, that's not something you can shrug off against players of this caliber. Exactly right now, because the stage isn't really in the favor of Regi. He doesn't have the one place placing himself on the left side of the stage in order to like move around. It's against a rock and a hard place. Now we're finally seeing the platform actually help him out here in order to get out of there. But once again, Franklin getting hit with the turtle and air dodge impressively right there, avoiding all hitboxes and also getting himself to the ledge. Very well done on behalf of Goblin, who is slowly but surely taking the advantage, especially with that jab forward air, which is the staple on this character. And I was thinking, oh my god, once again, how many times has Regi done that? It's like the third time he does that, and he uses his stock and then just immediately up smashes afterwards. Why does everybody forget that it has intangibility?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And at the moment, we do things that we're not proud of, you know? That's always gonna be a thing. And as long as the smash keeps going on, there's always gonna be a hit at the moment. There's gonna be heat on the battlefield. And of course, there's gonna be a lot of heat coming up from the sort of seals that Roy is carrying. As you can already tell, Regi is on the verge of losing this stock once again, all the way to 124%, and that's gonna be pretty much it. He was prepared for that. Just trying to bait that roll in from Regi. Goblin is able to contest it back with a backer, just closing off that stock very much clean on the JV2 fashion, and one game above Regi and one game closer to take on this set. Just look at that fashion.
Saw that. It's just that look at this interaction we're gonna see. He just drops down and then boop, up smashes once again. And you even see the fact that Mr. Game was like, nah man, nah, this ain't it, bro. This ain't it. Just eats up the option that that Goblin had in order to try once again to close up and accumulate a little bit more percentage. And then we're seeing it once again, just diving straight in. Will we be seeing another option coming from Regi on this occasion, or is it the fact that Mr. Game & Watch has been working and we're going to be seeing a game for Mr. Game & Watch? This is exactly what I can imagine. Is he gonna do it for the fans? Are you gonna do it for the fans, Regi? Come on, don't be taunting me like this. Don't be taunting everybody. And he does it, ladies and gentlemen.
He goes for it.
We're going for Piranha Plant. The character that nobody asked for, but the character that everybody loves, is making itself present right here, and we're going immediately. This is a good change of pace. This is a character that not a lot of players have a lot of experience against because it's not normally considered like something very important.
Oh my god.
Like a good creator. But look at what he's doing right now. He is moving.
Okay, with one thing for sure, one thing that I gotta really know, what crossed Goblin's mind when he saw that Regi was just gonna pick Piranha Plant? What's this happening? What's going on? This character is still in the game. Regi moves it. He knows how to do it. Is this not a joke? Now, of course, as you can already tell, this is on the losing verge of Regi. Regi's already lost the first stock, but what he has to offer is something that's going to be quite different. As long as Goblin knows how to handle or how to manage himself around that Pitui, then of course he's going to have no problems whatsoever. Because I feel like Pitui is basically the very best option that Piranha Plant has to offer as a character.
Naturally, you paid $5.99 for a neutral B and it came with a free character, man. That's how people tend to refer to that movement because it's so good and it does everything for you, but save you the stocks, man. How are you trying to dodge right there against Roy of all characters, especially that percent? You know that he can put a mask on and then just rob your stock immediately at low percentages. But I mean, come on, you're walking out in the night out here.
Yes, of course. So currently Goblin is already at 98%. It's just a natural situation. And that's exactly where usually you see that Piranha Plant shines, the ledge trap. You don't have any kind of option as long as the between is charged up and held up against your face. But of course, the situation does not abate you that. Currently, Regi isn't forced to take on any kind of, or very much every single different course of actions because he's already losing this game. This is pretty much a set game and done. He's already at 130. Goblin is about to restock him, and he already has done it. That's a 3 stock. That's a 3 stock and a handshake, 3-1, and Goblin's gonna go against his next opponent, which is gonna be Cloudy. But not before we go through Bonilla and Regi or Bonilla and Cloudy.
Well, we're